You.
You're finally awake. I mean, I think your legs broke. Like, don't worry. Here, let me pick you up. Yeah, okay? So, your legs are broken.
Nice.
Your replacements are coming soon. I finally ordered an actual decent one where I can even do top-down shots and stuff. And hopefully a better mic, like a cheap shotgun mic. But yeah, like I really, there's something I really wanted to paint tonight. I'm afraid you're gonna have to sit on my table today. Just until your legs get delivered. And before I get started with painting tonight, I want to tell you about our sponsor. So this video is sponsored by no one. Yeah, obviously no sponsor. But I'm just taking this as an opportunity to remind you all to vote. Voter registration has been extended until October 31st. Because yeah. Anyway, time to paint. Hi, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Thankfully the bad news is short. The bad news is I couldn't film last night because there was just no way I could put up the camera in any position. But good news, I Love You Like an Alcoholic is turning into a mini-series instead of just one song painting. I've got 3 so far. They're looking pretty good. I think I'm getting into style again. Not quite sure, we'll see. In other good news, while I was looking through my supplies, I found this. You've got legs. Legs that don't work and are kinda sketchy, and I'm only using it because this phone isn't that heavy and I'm not worried that it's gonna fall. But legs nonetheless. But yeah, I'm gonna keep painting now that I have these legs. I'll try to take you with me. And hello, so I did end up taking you with me, and this is the sound of my voice on my new mic. Sounds pretty good, I think, and for the price it was really good. And so for this part of the video, I guess I'm trying to make a Peter Draws style commentary. It's my excuse to speed up all of the footage to 500 times speed. Because if I played it in full normal speed, it would have just been over an hour of recording, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, I guess here I start off by prepping the canvases. So for the song for I Love You Like an Alcoholic by the Taxpayers, I didn't really want to go with just a plain canvas. So I'm prepping 2 of these to be black and then the last one to be brown, or like a reddish brown. Not because I'm running out of black paint and I wanted to use something else. Of course not. Okay, maybe it is. But also I think I wanted some red incorporated, and the red I had wasn't dark enough or saturated enough to be the red I want to use. So the red and brown make a good burnt, like a dark wood kind of tint, and so I went with that one. And then I decided to clean my palette. Couldn't really decide at first what colors to use, so I procrastinated by doing some color mixing. Decided to make an orange and a green here. Tried to make IG stories about it, of the color mixing, only to fail because it's really hard on my phone. But yeah, here's a close-up of the color mixing. I tried to go for a darker green with the green, and then a more of a red-orange with the orange. And the paint I have is kind of gritty because I'm using one that's an older stock I have, and it's a different brand from what I restocked recently with, which is also a different brand. So it still works, and even though it's not perfect, I kind of like the texture it comes with because it makes it less clean, and I don't like paintings clean. So yeah, just some satisfying visual ASMR, I guess, here. Okay, we're back. Just doing some cleaning. I'm not actually used to using brushes because brushes tend to be expensive, and I learned to use some cheaper materials. In this case, palette knives. I've really grown to love palette knives when using acrylic paintings. Oh, you can hear the birds in the background because it's 6:20 a.m. Anyway, yeah, so I use the brush here, add some highlights with the white. Eventually, yeah, here I'm switching to the palette knife because I want more texture to cut through all of the movement. I want just solid blocks of a stroke here. Yeah, pondered it a bit more, and I had to make the green a bit darker. For the green, I put too much white, and it just went to yeah, white. And then once I was happy with it, I cleaned the palette, readying for the next painting. So satisfying, honestly. It's just therapeutic being able to peel the paint off the palette, especially moving from plastic palettes that scrape to this glass pane that I salvaged from the scrap picture frame. It's just so much easier to use. But yeah, here I am mixing more paint again. This time I'm going for a dark, like, sea or ocean blue, I think. But then another just set of more orange. And I go straight into the palette knife for this because I want thick layers of paint. And yeah, I was happy with it from the start, but then I wanted it to be more sharp and wanted to be more cuts through everything. So I take my palette knife, dip some paint, and run it through to make clean cuts, and yeah, a little more extras. Eventually I get a bit carried away. I decide to put more highlights in 3, 2, 2.5, 0.5. There, I'm picking up the whites. Decided to add some highlights because the center felt a bit too dark. But then I think I started overworking it and I just stopped liking it, so I decided to stop. There it is. Yeah. And moving on to the last one is the brown one. Decided to use the leftover minty green paint that I had and just slap it right on there. And then it was at the point that I smeared it with white and red that I realized, oh, it kinda looks like the flag of Italy or France. One of those. I'm so sorry, I forgot which is which. But yeah, I just moved with it actually. I didn't want to waste the paint, so I just worked around it. More palette knife work over here. It was me trying to get more mounds of paint to get texture to lift off everything. And the blue is a nice contrast to the very warm painting or composition so far. And again, just some cut throughs to all the paint to make it clean. A DQ blizzard flip because why not? And I'm done. Yeah, so that's all. And I guess thanks for watching. See you next week.